Hello everyone, and welcome to my Young and the Restless official 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Soaps and weddings go hand in hand, and fans of the Young and the Restless will get to choose the bride-to-be's bridal gown in addition to witnessing Danny and Christine get married once more. Yes, you read correctly. As of right now. Belle told the newspaper, "I just thought, these people have devoted so much of their lives to our show, when we heard that we were getting remarried. We can't do this without them, whenever there's a way to include them or show them how much they mean to us." Even though Belle has tried on all three dresses, she hasn't chosen one. As she hasn't done since they were married in 1990, she wants the fans to have the last say in what Christine wears when she says "I do" to Danny. We must question whether Phyllis will comply with Danny's request to keep her away, as well as whether she will have a unique wedding present for them. Do you recall what she offered Paul and Christine in secret? Nobody wants to sleep with a dead octopus in their bed. 3 options for Christine's wedding dress are revealed by Lauren. Following the revelation of 3 stunning possibilities by Lauren Fenmore Baldwin, Christine Blair's wedding gown. The designs that Lauren creates will blow Christine away. Christine will struggle to choose one, nevertheless, for her special day with Danny Romalotti. Since the show is going to post a poll on Instagram to get everyone's input, that's where the fans come in. The bridal gown that receives the most votes will be the one Christine wears at her marriage ceremony this November. Viewers can choose their favorite wedding dress. The vote will go up on YNR's Instagram account in the afternoon, but it will only be open for 24 hours. Fans who wish to join in on the fun and have a say in the stunning garment Christine chooses will need to move quickly. After Kane Ashby decides to back out of their agreement, Billy Abbott will spin out. Billy will either struggle to restore this alliance or find a different way to exact revenge on Victor Newman. In any case, it's clear that Billy is in a risky mental state. Billy may easily push Sally Spectra, who would continue to worry about him, away because she betrayed him by telling Jack Abbott everything. Billy had previously hoped that their romance could be saved, but Sally's most recent action might convince him that it would be best to break up with her. Kane will engage in a brainstorming session. Kane may meet Michael Baldwin and Phyllis Summers as he attempts to determine his next course of action. Michael will undoubtedly pay attention to any tactics Kane still has in his sleeve because he will undoubtedly run to Victor with whatever he discovers. Soaps and weddings go hand in hand, and The Young and the Restless is about to give fans one of the most nostalgic, emotional, and interactive experiences in daytime television history by bringing Danny Romalotti and Christine Blair back to the altar for another round of I do's. It's a moment that longtime viewers have been dreaming about, one steeped in history, sentiment, and the kind of sweeping romance that has defined YNR for decades. But what sets this wedding apart is not just the characters' emotional journey, but also the fact that the fans themselves will get to make one of the most pivotal decisions of the event, Christine's bridal gown. Yes, you read that correctly, viewers will literally choose which dress Christine will wear down the aisle when she promises herself to Danny once again. In an exclusive statement, Laura Lee Bell revealed to the press that this choice was about honoring the loyalty and devotion of the soap's fanbase. "I just thought, these people have devoted so much of their lives to our show," Bell confessed. "When we heard that we were getting remarried, I knew we couldn't do this without them. Whenever there's a way to include them or show them how much they mean to us, we have to take that opportunity." She admitted that while she has already tried on the 3 dresses designed by her on-screen best friend Lauren Fenmore Baldwin, she hasn't made a decision, and she doesn't intend to. Instead, she wants the fans to have the final say in what Christine wears when she faces Danny at the altar, a decision she hasn't had to make since they were first married back in 1990. The stakes are enormous, and the nostalgia is palpable, but soap fans know better than to expect smooth sailing when it comes to Genoa City nuptials. After all, there's always someone lurking in the shadows, ready to turn a day of joy into chaos. And in this case, the name on everyone's lips is Phyllis Summers. Viewers are left wondering if she'll truly honor Danny's plea to keep her distance from the ceremony, or whether she'll come crashing into the wedding with one of her signature schemes. Fans can't help but recall the last time Phyllis decided to insert herself into Christine's love life, orchestrating a cruel and unforgettable surprise for Christine and Paul in the form of that infamous dead octopus wedding night prank. No one in Genoa City, and no fan watching at home, has forgotten that grotesque gesture, which served as one of the most shocking and iconic soap wedding interruptions of all time. Could Phyllis possibly be planning something equally outrageous to make Christine and Danny's second wedding memorable for all the wrong reasons? Of course, before we even get to the possibility of a Phyllis-shaped disaster, there's the matter of Christine's gown itself. Lauren Fenmore Baldwin, fashionista and longtime confidant, has unveiled 3 breathtaking options for Christine's big day. Each design reflects a different facet of Christine's personality. One is sleek and modern, perfect for the confident attorney she's become, another is romantic and ethereal, echoing the young dreamer she once was, and the third is regal and timeless, a nod to tradition and legacy. Christine is overwhelmed by the beauty of them all, but true to her word, she insists the choice isn't hers to make. This is where the fans come in. YNR will post a poll on Instagram, giving viewers just 24 hours to vote for their favorite design. The winning gown will be revealed in the episode featuring the wedding, meaning fans will see the direct impact of their choice on screen. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be part of soap history, and it's already generating buzz online as viewers prepare to campaign for their favorite look. The clock will be ticking, and only those who act fast will have a say in the dress Christine wears when she walks toward Danny this November. It's a brilliant blend of storytelling and fan engagement, cementing YNR's legacy of honoring its audience while keeping them on the edge of their seats. But as every soap fan knows, weddings rarely go off without complications, and while Christine prepares to embark on her romantic new beginning, other Genoa City residents are spinning into their own storms. Most notably, Billy Abbott finds himself reeling after Kane Ashby pulls out of their business agreement, leaving Billy in a volatile and dangerous state of mind. Billy's confidence has always been fragile, and Kane's betrayal could push him into a spiral of impulsive decisions and reckless vendettas. For Billy, the fallout is personal as much as professional. He feels humiliated and undermined, especially with Victor Newman looming as a constant adversary. Will Billy try to repair the broken alliance, or will he instead focus on exacting revenge against both Kane and Victor in ways that could backfire spectacularly? Billy's history of instability makes him unpredictable, and those closest to him, like Sally Spectra, may bear the brunt of his anger. Sally has already found herself on shaky ground with Billy after confessing to Jack Abbott about their troubles, a betrayal Billy may never forgive. While he once believed their relationship had a chance to survive, Sally's honesty with Jack could serve as the final nail in the coffin. If Billy decides to cut ties with her, it could mark the beginning of a dark and dangerous chapter for him, one where vengeance takes precedence over love. Meanwhile, Kane isn't simply sitting on the sidelines gloating over his maneuver against Billy. He's deep in thought, brainstorming his next move and considering who might be useful allies in his shifting strategies. One of the people he encounters during this period of plotting is Michael Baldwin, who has always had a sharp eye for opportunity and trouble alike. Michael knows that Kane is rarely without an ulterior motive, and he'll listen carefully, calculating whether Kane's schemes might ultimately benefit Victor, or provide leverage for himself. At the same time, Phyllis Summers finds herself circling back into the picture, her restless energy and personal grudges making her an unpredictable player in this web of interconnected stories. Phyllis thrives on disruption, and her entanglement with Kane and Michael could set off a chain of events that threaten not just Christine's wedding day, but the fragile balance of power in Genoa City itself. With Christine and Danny on the cusp of their second chance, the question isn't just what dress Christine will wear, but whether she'll actually make it down the aisle without sabotage, heartbreak, or another one of those unforgettable YNR twists that leave viewers gasping. For fans, this storyline is more than just a wedding, it's a trip down memory lane, a celebration of loyalty, and a reminder of why they've invested decades of emotion into these characters. Danny and Christine's romance has weathered so many storms over the years, misunderstandings, breakups, reunions, betrayals, and more, and yet, their enduring love story continues to resonate. Giving the audience the power to shape a piece of their history makes the event even more personal, turning longtime viewers into participants in a legacy that began back in the 1980s. Whether the gown is sleek, romantic, or regal, whether Phyllis behaves or disrupts, whether Billy implodes or recalibrates, this wedding will be one for the history books. It's the kind of sweeping, multi-layered storytelling that daytime soaps do best, intertwining romance, rivalry, nostalgia, and suspense, ensuring that fans tune in not just to see a dress, but to see what comes next when love meets chaos in Genoa City. As the buzz around Christine and Danny's wedding builds to a fever pitch, Genoa City begins to feel the weight of anticipation. The talk in every corner of society, Crimson Lights, and even Newman Enterprises revolves around which gown Christine will wear and whether this long-awaited wedding will truly go off without disaster. To the casual onlooker, it might seem like a fairy tale, two soulmates who once stood at the altar 35 years ago finding their way back to each other, older, wiser, and more appreciative of the enduring love that binds them. But soap viewers know there's always a catch, because for every romantic vow spoken, there's someone nearby ready to unravel the happiness with a scheme, a secret, or a scandal. And in this case, all eyes are on Phyllis Summers, who has a long and sordid history of meddling where Danny and Christine are concerned. Danny's plea for Phyllis to stay away is more than just a protective measure for Christine, it's a desperate attempt to keep the day pure, free from chaos. But has anyone ever successfully kept Phyllis out of anything when she sets her mind on it? This is the woman who once drugged Danny, manipulated his emotions, and spent decades nursing an obsession with him. She has reinvented herself countless times, but her impulsive, destructive streak never truly disappears. Even if she doesn't physically crash the ceremony, can anyone truly believe she won't find a way to leave her mark on the occasion? Whether it's through a shocking gift, an emotional plea in front of guests, or an explosive revelation meant to tear Christine's world apart, Phyllis has all the motivation she needs to make this wedding unforgettable in the worst way. And let's not forget the Octopus incident, one of those moments that etched itself into soap history. When Phyllis left that grotesque present for Christine and Paul, it wasn't just cruel, it was symbolic, a calculated reminder that Phyllis could reach into their most intimate moments and contaminate them. Fans still shudder at the memory of Christine's horrified expression when she discovered the slimy creature. If Phyllis could do that once, what's to stop her from unleashing something equally shocking now? The mere mention of that storyline in fan circles has sparked speculation. Could Phyllis be planning another grotesque prank, something so outlandish it would go viral beyond the soap world? Or will she take a different approach this time, perhaps something more emotionally devastating, like dredging up secrets from Christine's past, or even pulling Danny aside with an urgent confession meant to derail him before he can say I do? Meanwhile, Christine herself is torn between excitement and dread. The gown pull is both thrilling and overwhelming. As Lauren Fenmore Baldwin lays out the three choices once more in front of Christine, Danny, and a few close friends, Christine marvels at how each dress represents a different chapter of her life. The sleek, modern gown speaks to her evolution as a powerhouse attorney, the woman who faced Victor Newman in the courtroom and held her ground. The romantic, flowy design evokes her younger self, the idealistic girl who first fell in love with Danny when they were both dreamers, caught up in music and hope. And then there's the regal, traditional gown, a design so classic it almost feels like destiny, a garment that could stand the test of time and remind viewers of the soap weddings of yesteryear. Christine admits she's leaning toward one of them, but quickly reminds herself that the fans must decide. The Instagram poll, meanwhile, becomes the talk of Genoa City's fictional and real world alike. Fans on social media campaign fiercely for their favorite designs. Some argue Christine deserves a modern look to reflect her strength and growth, while others want the nostalgia factor, a dress that recalls her first wedding to Danny in 1990. Debates break out online, hashtags trend, and even cast members start teasing their favorites in interviews. It's the kind of real-time fan engagement that makes YNR history, and Christine's wedding transforms from just a storyline into a full cultural event. But amid all this excitement, dark clouds gather. Billy Abbott, spiraling after Kane Ashby's betrayal, can't focus on anything but the chaos in his own life. Kane's decision to back out of their agreement has left Billy humiliated and enraged, and his anger is spilling over into every aspect of his existence. Sally Spectre tries to reason with him, but her recent confession to Jack Abbott about their troubles has created a fissure in their relationship that may never heal. Billy once believed Sally could be his safe harbor, but now she feels like another betrayal waiting to happen. As he drinks too much and lashes out, Sally finds herself wondering if she's better off cutting her losses before Billy's self-destruction pulls her down too. Victor Newman, of course, is never far from Billy's thoughts. Billy believes that every setback, every betrayal, is somehow orchestrated or at least savored by Victor, who has long relished putting Billy in his place. The idea of Kane possibly working with Victor, or at the very least, running to Victor with new information, gnaws at Billy, intensifying his paranoia. He begins to plot his revenge, imagining ways to strike back at both Kane and Victor. But the danger here is clear: when Billy lets vengeance consume him, he becomes reckless, and his impulsive choices often leave lasting scars on himself and those around him. Viewers can see the storm coming, and Sally's pleas for him to slow down fall on deaf ears. Meanwhile, Kane is enjoying his moment of triumph, but he's not naive enough to believe it will last forever. He begins to explore his next steps carefully, meeting with Michael Baldwin under the pretense of seeking legal advice but really fishing for strategic leverage. Michael, ever the opportunist, listens closely. He knows Kane is playing a dangerous game, but if there's one thing Michael has learned over the years, it's that chaos often leads to opportunity. He considers how Kane's maneuvering might serve his own interests, or Victor's, should Michael choose to deliver the information upward. But Michael's conversations with Kane don't go unnoticed, especially by Phyllis, who has a knack for inserting herself into other people's plots. The idea of Kane and Michael conspiring sparks her curiosity, and Phyllis begins to wonder whether there's a way for her to align herself with Kane. If she can't stop Christine's wedding through sheer force of will, maybe she can leverage Kane's scheming to distract Danny and Christine or create collateral damage that ultimately ruins their big day. The more Phyllis plots, the more the possibility grows that the wedding itself will become the battleground for multiple storylines converging at once. Imagine the scene: Christine, radiant in the gown chosen by fans, standing at the altar with Danny, tears in her eyes as she prepares to pledge herself to him. Friends and family gathered, Lauren proud of her designs, Tracy beaming with nostalgia, Paul perhaps quietly watching from the sidelines. And then, chaos. Perhaps Billy storms in, drunk and vengeful, confronting Kane in front of the stunned guests. Perhaps Phyllis makes her grand entrance, declaring her undying love for Danny one last time, or worse, revealing a secret Christine has fought to keep hidden. Perhaps Victor himself shows up, not to ruin the wedding but to assert his dominance, proving that no major event in Genoa City can truly escape his shadow. The beauty of this storyline lies in its layers: the romance of Christine and Danny, the nostalgia of their history, the excitement of fan involvement, the suspense of potential sabotage, and the intertwining of other Genoa City dramas into the tapestry of the wedding. It's a reminder of why soaps endure, because they create events that are both personal and communal, intimate and explosive, giving viewers not just entertainment but a sense of shared history. When Christine finally walks down that aisle, she carries not just her own story, but the hopes, memories, and votes of millions of fans who helped shape her moment. And when the inevitable chaos erupts, because in Genoa City, it always does, it will only make the love story at the heart of it stronger. For longtime viewers, the emotional resonance is undeniable. They remember when Christine first said I do to Danny in the 1990s, when Phyllis began her obsessive crusade, when Lauren was Christine's fiercest frenemy before becoming her trusted confidant. They remember the Octopus, the betrayals, the tears, the reunions. To see all of these threads converge in a single storyline feels like a reward for their decades of loyalty. And for newer fans, the drama offers everything they crave from a soap: glamour, romance, scheming, suspense, and the chance to be part of something bigger by casting a vote. What makes this particular wedding so compelling is the uncertainty. Will Christine and Danny actually make it through their vows without interruption? Will Phyllis honor Danny's request, or will she unleash another spectacle that overshadows everything else? Will Billy implode publicly, dragging Sally and Kane into his mess in front of Christine's guests? Will Victor find a way to remind everyone that in Genoa City, no alliance or romance exists without his influence looming nearby? These questions are what keep fans glued to their screens, counting down the days to November, knowing that no matter what happens, this will be a wedding no one will ever forget. As the day of Christine and Danny's wedding draws closer, the air in Genoa City becomes electric with speculation. Guests quietly wonder if the ceremony will be a celebration of love or a spectacle of chaos, because if there's one constant in this town, it's that happiness rarely comes without a price. Christine tries to focus on the joy, her gown chosen by the fans, her heart full of hope, and Danny by her side, but even she can't shake the unease that something, or someone, might derail their moment. And that someone, of course, is Phyllis. Phyllis has been watching from the sidelines, outwardly pretending to respect Danny's wishes while secretly wrestling with her own obsessive feelings. On the surface, she tells friends like Michael Baldwin and Lauren Fenmore that she's moved on, that she wishes Danny and Christine well, but her restless body language and late-night plotting say otherwise. Every time she sees Christine glowing with happiness, it gnaws at her, reminding her of the years she spent chasing Danny's affection and the humiliation she endured in the process. She can't help but think, why does Christine get another chance when she herself has been cast aside so many times?